Let's continue our discussion now on the Road Traffic Management Corporation, or RTMC, estimates that 1 in 3 driver's licenses have been obtained fraudulently. With their national anti-corruption unit and help from other law enforcement agencies, they hope to clamp down on this corruption and ultimately on the high death rate on the roads. Recently, the unit arrested a couple in KwaZulu-Natal after the woman allegedly attempted to write a learner's test on behalf of her partner. This isn't a new story. A while ago, our journalist Griselda Lewis exposed how to buy a license this easily, and this, of course, led to the firing of this official after the SABC expose was aired. Joining us now, we've got Simon Zwane. He's the spokesperson for the RTMC, and we've also been joined here by Howard Dembrovsky. He is from Justice Project South Africa, who, of course, is watching over with a very fierce eye as to how bad the situation is. And gentlemen, I thank you very much for staying on here. You know, I've been inundated with tweets from so many viewers that are saying, in fact, I'll just read this one to you and perhaps you can respond. This is from Henry saying, the traffic department makes it almost impossible for people to obtain driver's license legally, even if you can drive very well. That's why people engage themselves in obtaining their license illegally, fraudulent licenses. You know, this is a worry.
Yes, it's not the department that makes it difficult. It's the officials who are interested in the corrupt practices that are making it difficult.
Which in turn is the department, because they represent the department.
They do not do that in their official capacity, they're doing it in their corrupt capacity. Because the department doesn't say go out and be corrupt. But they will do that, put hindrances, make it difficult for you to pass the test, even to book, make it difficult, so that you go through their cronies who are in the driving school sector and all of that. It's very, very systematic and very deep. So what you see on the surface, there's a lot that goes behind the scenes in a way to discourage people from using the proper channels.
Yeah.
Well, I would say, and with the greatest respect to Simon and his colleagues, that it is a departmental problem, because if you're allowing your driving examiners to create an environment where they can frustrate people into paying bribes because of the manner in which they frustrate the processes, then your supervision of your driving examiners is deficient. And that is, it all comes down to this, unfortunately. If you're going to run a driving license testing center, you need to rely very heavily on intelligence and monitoring. And you need to watch what's going on with these people, because, trust me, we've seen it in numerous driving license testing centers where a person will actually be quite a good driver, but they will continually fail. Until such, and sometimes they're quite brazen and say, you're going to keep failing unless you pay for your driving license, because this is something that you have to do.
So sometimes it's very difficult to blame the public, and we cannot not blame the public as well, because if you bribe, you're also party to
you're a criminal.
You're a criminal, and that's the reality. But I mean, I've got another tweet here, and I'm specifically focusing on tweets because these are from viewers that have experienced this. Refilwe saying, I don't blame people who obtain their license fraudulently. I failed, I went again for my license, as eventually I got it, and I got it on my test 100% right. But she went over and over again until eventually it was like, well, all right, just give this woman the license, because she's never going to bribe. But we can't afford to do this.
There are some who don't try as Refilwe did. You know, last month we arrested about 9 of them in Howick. Those people did not even try. They just went into to try and write a learner's license. They were given answers by the examiners, and we arrested them together with the examiners. They did not even try to do it properly. They had a pre-arrangement with the examiners that they will come and they will be assisted to pass the exam. They were assisted to pass. They didn't know anything about the rules of the road.
What is your monitoring like? And let's talk about that, because obviously you hire individuals. They're working at these testing stations that are all around South Africa. They're left to their own devices, and that's where they find the gaps, by being left to run things according to how they feel they want to run them, and there's no accountability. Obviously, that is how it's been allowed to get to this bad situation. Who actually manages them, and who's responsible for this? Is it not you?
No, the provincial authorities and municipal authorities run them. We do the supervision that you're referring to, and we do the investigations into how they are conducting themselves.
Where do you think the blame lies? Because we've got to blame someone.
Management. Sorry, it's full-on management.
Which is the road traffic
management? Simon agrees with me.
Yeah?
No, it's not. Because
Who is it?
The competency lies with the provincial licensing authorities and the local licensing authorities. And unfortunately, there is a huge lacking in a political will to get a grasp of the situation. Quite frankly, we need to have almost draconian type of management principles being applied in order to make sure that these people are monitored correctly. How can you have a driving license testing centre that's got cameras all over the place, but not one of them is working?
Yeah, I mean, are there cameras in the cars? No, because you bring your own vehicle.
Cars.
That's been broken.
Yeah, but in the stations they are, and in some of the rooms where the tests are written, they are. Yeah. But they try to subvert those.
Of course.
That's how sometimes we are able to identify where corruption happens. It's through the cameras when we monitor.
And the reality is that if you're in a car alone with a person being tested,
a lot happens there.
That's where it happens. But if you know
but it also happens prior.
Let's fix the cameras. Let's put the camera in the car.
It happens prior to you getting to the car, and prior to you even getting into the station.
Yep. Yeah. It's become so ingrained that the attitude in a lot of these driving license testing centres are, if you're not going to bribe us, then we're going to fail you 5 or 6 or 7 times. We might eventually
give it to you,
without accepting a bribe. But if you want to get your driving license quickly, pay the bribe. And, you know, when Simon says that people go and pay the bribes without even trying, those people have got ears. They talk to friends. And friends tell them, listen, you can go this route of trying to be honest, or
phone this friend, he'll organise it and you'll be sorted. You know, there's also another, and this is the last question I'll ask you, I know you have to go. One of our Twitter users, Bopape, saying, I don't think the Road Traffic Management Corporation should be taken seriously because we, the public, have in the past reported corrupt traffic officials, but nothing has ever happened there. He gives a specific case. The situation here in Bethlehem in the Free State remains the same. I have those emails and that correspondence, and nothing's been done. Now, this makes me worry.
Now, we have investigations going on in that area, particularly. It's part of one of the areas that we are looking at. I can't reveal more because investigations might be jeopardized by that, but that area is one of the areas of our focus. And many other provinces. We know, for instance, that people get transported across provinces to go and obtain licenses in different stations because it's known which station would give you, say, what is used to be called Code 14, where do you get Code 8 easy, where do you get a learner's license easily. We've all mapped that out now, and we're busy with those investigations.
You actually just have to ask Twitter. I mean, listen to this. The Jaguar writes to me and says, it's so easy. You just talk to the traffic officer, then during the test, he or she just helps you with answers for your learners for 1,000 Rand. Then for the actual license, all you have to do is pay 3,000 Rand. I know of a few here in the Free State. It's really bad. People we trust for our safety are just crooks. Yes. I mean, it is so rife. This is a norm.
And that's why we need, in my view, the courts to come down really hard on these people. When they are arrested, when they're brought before their courts, and when they are convicted, let's stop messing around now. Let's put these people in jail for the maximum term, which is 30 years. Let's put them in jail for the maximum term. even if that took 10 cents.
Absolutely.
Because this has got to stop. Giving a person a driving license to go and drive on our roads while they are unqualified is, in my view, a reckless act that could lead to the death of other individuals, and that must be taken into account.
And you can never tell if that license is fake or not because it has been obtained legally through the system.
Precisely.
Illegally behind
but the other problem that we have, Leanne, is resourcing. The RTMC, look, there's no doubt about it, there's no love lost between the RTMC and me. Okay, we've never loved one another. But the one thing that I will say for them, because it is true, is that this anti-corruption unit is severely understaffed. You cannot have a group of 30 or 40 individuals
overseeing
trying
the whole country
to deal with 11.5 million driving licenses. It's not going to work in an effective manner. You might have some small victories, but you really can't make an impact on that.
Right.
Now, I urge central government to say, you know what, let's take all the other rubbish that's associated with the RTMC and chuck it aside because they don't do it anyway.
Right.
Let's throw everything at anti-corruption.
Howard, we've got to leave it there, Simon. I thank you for running over with us. We really do. This is such an important issue. Simon Zwane is a spokesperson for the RTMC, and Howard Dembowski is the Justice Project South Africa, from the Justice Project South Africa. We'll read some more of your tweets, and the more I'm reading, the more I'm understanding how easy this is. Matapelo saying, one of my neighbors went for the test 6 times, and he was told to pay a bribe of 1,600 Rand or he will never pass. Let's take a break. We'll see you after this.